WWE Raw over there in Orlando. And now I didn't see Kern, but he sent word that he was looking for me. And he wanted to book CM Punk on the air today, because I think they're doing something down in maybe Port Charlotte or something. And I think CM Punk, although he's on the SmackDown brand, he's going to go do something for Steve in the FCW, I think maybe tonight or tomorrow, but I'll get a hold of him in a minute.
Excellent.
So anyway, Kern sent word that he was looking for me. So we went back and forth. Initially, I booked it for 9:30, but I know that we got strippers in here.
Yep.
And I didn't want to take, from CM Punk's, being over. Because, he may have to do a job for strippers if I had him on the air, and you probably wouldn't like that.
Exactly.
Probably necessarily. CM Punk, how are you, buddy?
I'm excellent. How are you?
What type of dirty laundry does Kern have for you to come down here and wrestle for him?
I was wondering that myself. When I landed last night around like 9:30, my phone immediately rang. It was kind of creepy how he knew I already touched down. And
oh yeah, he's an old timer, man. I know you're not one of the younger guys, but you've been around a little bit. But he's older than the hills.
Yeah, he's got some tricks. So after I got off the phone with him, I had to call him back and be like, wait, what did I just agree to? What?
Next thing you know, you're going to be doing the Doink the Clown gimmick and the Skinner gimmick and the whole 9 yards.
I was a fan of Skinner, actually.
I was too, man, because he spit tobacco on you. I don't think that Vince could pull that off in today's environment.
It's pretty ridiculous if you think about it.
I tell you, I went to the show last night. Man, that was a hell of a show. Did you watch it?
No, man, I got into my hotel room and I turned it on, and I think it was just wrapping up, so I didn't really get to see a whole lot of it. You
got some pretty damn good workers when Triple H and John Cena can make a 5'5" guy, Seth Green, look like $1 million, and they did. They pulled it off.
Well, we've been doing that with Hornswoggle for years now, and that guy's. He's horrible.
He is horrible, man. That gimmick should only be able to take you so far. But he's got some legs on that gimmick, and he's making some money, I guess.
Yeah, we figured it out. He's the longest running midget in any territory in wrestling history.
I don't know why Jimmy Hart has always said it, and there's got to be, maybe there's some underlying thing amongst you boys, but every time we have Jimmy Hart on, his last line is never trust a midget. I don't know what that means.
Well, they're just not trustworthy people. I don't know if they're
creepy. Are they not?
The way, I don't know, if something happens when they're born, I don't know.
Hogan told me, like, back in the day, man, when they'd be out, back when the wrestlers still hung out and got really crazy and really partied, they'd be at the pool at the hotel, and they'd get all drunk, and Andre and the boys would literally pick the midgets up and throw them in the pool and just get the biggest kick out of it.
It's just
when I was a kid, I used to go to the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago, which is now the Allstate Arena or whatever they want to call it, but I remember going one time and being at a hotel afterwards and watching all the boys meander down to the hotel bar, and I remember Dink taking like a good 45 minutes to get into the bar from the elevator because all the boys were just running around beating the crap out of him. And for me, as a kid, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So, now I'm in the WWE, and now I beat the crap out of Hornswoggle liberally.
And it just solidified as a kid, man, wrestling's really real because these guys are really beating up this midget right here.
Well, that's how I knew I made it, when I realized that I owned a midget and I could beat him up whenever I wanted to.
You knew you made it when you got paid to beat a midget up.
Yeah.
Before that, you'd probably be trumped up on some Chicago, like R. Kelly charges in Chicago if you were doing that sort of deal.
Probably, yeah.
So were you born and raised in Chicago or in that area?
Yeah. I was born in Chicago, and I grew up in a place called Lockport after my parents moved. I was like a suburb of Chicago. I was there at B96 back in 89 and 90, and lived downtown at McClurg Court. Did you ever make it downtown? I live 2 miles from downtown right now.
In Chicago?
Yeah. Man,
all the boys, that's got to be one of the worst places to commute out of, CM Punk.
Are you serious? It's the best place to commute out of.
O'Hare, dealing with O'Hare? Unless you got a private plane like Triple H, work with me.
No, it's simple, man. I got direct flights everywhere. I take the blue line straight into O'Hare. I never have a problem.
Ugh, it's the worst. O'Hare. Remember when we dealt with O'Hare going to maybe the fact that we were going to Green Bay was the problem. But,
on the way back, it felt like we had a forced march of 25 miles to change the plane.
Well, guys that are in shape like you, CM Punk, you can go 30 minutes not even be sweating. But
we barely made it to our plane, and we walked directly door to door.
He's not going into O'Hare and transferring. O'Hare's his final destination.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm not connecting. I'm flying straight out, straight in. It's great.
So now, what's the deal for Kern? Are you doing? Is it in Port Charlotte tonight? I know you got all the details because I know that he gave you a one sheet because he's very well prepared.
Well, of course, I know you're being sarcastic. He didn't give me anything, but thankfully, I have my computer here, and I'm pretty well prepared. Except I can't find where it's at right now.
I think it might be Port Charlotte. Is it?
No, it's not.
It's
Punta Gorda?
Oh, Punta Gorda.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Punta Gorda.
Absolutely. That was actually not the big city. That was the city that took the biggest hit back in the day, Brent, with that big hurricane in 2005.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now CM Punk's coming to town.
Well, we're rebuilding the town now with FCW. Bell time's 8 p.m.
8 p.m. at Punta Gorda. Now, where's what big ass arena in Punta Gorda? Which one of the 22,000 seaters are you going to be at there?
Charlotte Harbor Event and Conference Center, 75 Taylor Road, Punta Gorda. I can give out the phone number too. It's 941-639-5833.
And I got to tell you, CM Punk, I don't know the guy. I know he's a hell of a worker, but he comes across pretty well. He's a pretty damn good interview. I can see why you've made it far in this business. CM,
the best part about it is I'm absolutely 100% still sleeping right now.
Really?
Well, I got to ask you about this straight edge thing. I mean, I know you follow it in real life, but I find it fascinating. What, have you just never had a drink, or you never done anything, or what's the deal?
And especially looking the way he does. I mean, because he looks like a kind of guy that would, kind of get after it.
Yeah, I think.
And I look like a guy who hasn't slept in weeks. I know that everybody always says that. So yeah, I realize that I'm a very giant.
You're a rare breed.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Absolutely.
I mean, because you're all tatted up and you got all that, crazy ass, greasy type, rocker hair and the whole 9 yards. God, Brent, I'm getting old. I just called it rocker hair.
Well, this guy like the punk rock scene, like the straight edge punk rockers, like Minor Threat, like even Henry Rollins was a drug free type punk rock guy.
But did you ever drink or do anything?
Nope.
Never.
No, it just wasn't my thing,
Man,
by the way, he was
loosen up, dude.
Ned, stop. Not everybody can be addicted to heroin and stuff like you, Ned.
Why not?
Well, this guy's making a hell of a living right now, making more money than you.
He needs to learn how to party. But what about when it comes to look, the whole gimmick with wrestling is, these guys get hurt and they get on pain meds, and some get hooked on them and things like that.
That's the old school mentality. Vince has got a wellness program now.
Yes,
Spicer.
I understand a wellness program.
See how much echinacea does for your broken back.
Ned.
Need about 10 oxys for that.
Ned, stop. Look, CM Punk is not abused.
He's not abused at all.
He's going to come kick everybody's ass in here, except mine. I'm not doing it. Now, CM, let me ask you a question. Are you one of the very few? Not very few, but when did they close Ohio Valley down? I know that Steve's place has now taken Ohio Valley's place, but when did they close? And you went there, didn't you?
Yeah, I want to say they shut down Ohio Valley maybe a year after I left, so sometime in 2006, I think.
And now that was a training place for the longest time. Brent, either you'd be getting trained there or you'd be sent there when you're in trouble.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people sit down.
I think Paul got sent there one time.
He did. He got sent down one time.
What's it like, you're like, Louisville or something like that, and all of a sudden you just saw Paul on a big show on TV, on the Raw, 2 Mondays ago, and now he's working at a gymnasium. CM, that's got to be pretty much a mind F, does it not?
At first it was because, I've been wrestling since 97, so, for me to kind of get sent down there, it was a little bit of a blow to the ego, but I wound up turning it into an extremely positive thing. I hated Louisville the first time I got there, I was landlocked. It was Louisville, Kentucky, and I wound up having a great respect for that city. Now it's like my second home.
Now, when you go back to the backyard wrestling days, were you one of these backyard wrestlers the typical backyard wrestling which you envision is a bunch of guys literally in a backyard beating the hell out of each other with random objects? Is that kind of what you were doing when you started this?
We never, me and my buddies never jumped off a roof or hit each other with rakes or chairs or anything like that. We would literally just wrestle in the backyard. We would, it sounds pretty lame and tame right now, but we'd just be so amped up after WWE pay-per-views, it would just spill outside. And
the
most brutal thing that happened was probably a suplex.
Now, growing up, being a fan, who did you always, who were you a mark for growing up, in the WWF days?
Rowdy Roddy Piper and evil mulleted Shawn Michaels was always high on my list.
Tell me you were a fan of the one and only Ravishing Rick Rude.
That's who Spice. By the way, that's Spice's favorite worker of all time, Ravishing Rick Rude, who was a real heel in real life. Spice, he'd kick your ass.
That was the man.
Yeah. Did you know? Were you a fan of Rick Rude?
Yes, I was. Did not know him though.
Now, I guess Spice. It was a shoot where he was one, mad and mean, and two, he could beat anybody in arm wrestling. I don't
doubt it. But man, he was ripped. The guy was shredded.
Yeah, he's a tough dude.
As long as you got your computer in front of you there, you go ahead and YouTube some of his old promos. You'll have a blast.
Whatever happened to Val Venus, Brent? Is Val still working? Not with Vince, but is he working independent? CM, do you know Val?
Val was in Japan right now, I believe.
I always liked that guy.
Yeah, we just got back from there, but I think we just missed him.
I know Baldo's in Japan too.
Albert, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's big, is he not?
No, he's strong. Talk about a strong man.
Right.
Anybody can lift Kane over their head and hold him?
John Cena lifted Big Show over last night.
Did he?
Well, not lifted him over his head. I mean, he helped. I mean, but that's still, I don't care if somebody's helping you or not. That's huge. So anyway, tonight now, CM, are you just making an appearance or are you working tonight?
Well, I don't really want to say. I'm supposed to just make an appearance, but I'm sure you know. I don't know if your callers know how the office is. They would probably kill me and destroy Punta Gorda if I got hurt doing an FCW show. But I'm the kind of guy that always tries to go that extra mile. I don't like to just show up and sign autographs. I like to maybe get my hands a little bit dirty, and I can't promise that I'm going to, but...
No, that's wrestling speak, because I'm going to do a run-in and kick somebody's ass, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try.
But he's going to be real safe about it.
Well, of course he's going to be safe about it. He's going to come in and beat the crap out of somebody. I promise you that. Now, are you doing... now, SmackDown is... Did they tape that tonight in Miami? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in Miami right now.
Now, you're the champion on SmackDown. How can you be doing a one-off in Punta Gorda while the rest of the boys are in... Boy, you must have really pissed somebody off, buddy.
No, I have a lot of love and respect for Steve Keirn. That's why.
Hold on, Brent. He's the heavyweight champion of SmackDown, right? And they're in Miami tonight.
Taping tonight. This is their big show.
In front of 20-some million people. And then... And CM's in Punta Gorda, working for Kearns.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, something's going on there, buddy. CM, you got to come clean with this, kiddo.
No, seriously, I have too much respect for Steve. He asked me for a favor, so here I am.
So what do you tell the front office? Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it?
No, the front office works with Steve. It's all one. It's the same company. Spice.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the front office was completely cool with you going, okay, I kind of promised him this, I want to do that.
No. They thought of it. See, CM's he's just a good guy, and he's going along with the program to promote FCW. He doesn't want to be there. The front office told him, the front office said, hey, listen.
Do you in fact not want to be in Punta Gorda?